Many of Morrowind's locations can be classified as sinister, foreboding, or downright creepy. Between Daedric ruins, dank caves, and the various six-house bases, an explorer can find many spooky spots to snoop around. So many of these are well-traveled and known by much of the player base, but Morrowind's a big game with dark secrets hidden all over the place, just waiting to be discovered by the intrepid adventurer. With the spooky season upon us, there's no better time to delve into some of these hair-raising haunts, so I've picked 3 of my favorite lesser-known nightmare-fuel locations that you may have overlooked in your Morrowind travels. First on our terrifying travels today, we have a Dunmer Ancestral tomb. Of course, none of the tombs in Morrowind are what you could really call cozy, since most of them are packed to the brim with undead monstrosities, demonic daedra, and even vampires. But this tomb is truly unique. This is Sandas' ancestral tomb, located west of Bal-Ur along the road leading east from the fields of Kumu. There are no known members of the Sandas family. My guess is the tomb must be ancient, and anything we might have been able to glean by modern descendants is forever lost to us. All we have to go off of is what we find inside. This location starts off like most others. A narrow staircase leads down from the main door, with the skeletal guard blocking our path. At the bottom of the stairs is a seemingly normal burial room, with altars and urns and the usual mix of spooky scary skeletons and bone bros that we've grown accustomed to. In the large central chamber, we'll come across a named skeleton laid out on an altar. This is the corpse of a noble guard. It's uncommon for the Dunmer to be laid to rest in this way, but not unheard of. Among his bones, we'll find a key, marked Key to Sandas' tomb, which we'll need to continue. On the northern end of the chamber, we'll find a small room with another corpse of a noble guard. These 2 individuals are the only ones of their kind in the game, but the mystery only deepens from here. The opposite side of the main chamber has a locked door, opened by the key we just retrieved. Inside is a Bone Lord. These higher tier enemies are usually reserved for much larger tombs, so whoever was interred here must have been someone important. Beyond here, we'll encounter an altar with a locked chest named a Nobleman's Chest. But this is no ordinary chest, as activating it will display an odd message, informing you that you suddenly feel quite cold. And we can hear the sound of swords being drawn from the recently cleared previous rooms. The 2 guards have somehow arisen from their rest, revived by our attempt to requisition some relics. These skeletal champions have stronger than average bones, and one is carrying 2 highly unusual items to find in a Dunmer tomb, a trollbone shield and a Nordic broadsword. We'll come across the usual grave goods of scrolls and potions, of course, but return to the nobleman's chest at the raised platform. The key for the doors doesn't open the box, but I'm sure you can find a way through the level 40 lock. And don't worry, the skeletons will stay dead this time. So bust the lock, and inside you'll find half a set of orcish armor, a bottle of Flynn, and a small amount of gold. There's no quest associated with this location, nor is there any unique item that might shed light on these restless skeletal guards. Examining the script causing this unusual event offers only one cryptic clue. It names the chest as Bill GT's Cursed Chest, but I was unable to locate anyone named Bill or William on the Morrowind development team. My best guess is that this location is part of a cut quest, removed in the early stages, but far enough along that we get this unique and unsettling experience. The next stop on our tour today is a true house of horrors. Located in Aldrune, just to the east of Scar, in the shadow of the Ghost Fence, sits a building similar to the Fighters Guild. Exactly like the Fighters Guild, as a matter of fact, since it uses the same exterior as well as the same interior layout. But what we find inside is unlike anything you'd find in a civilized guild hall. This is the Morvayn Manor, home of a Red Ring counselor who's recently gone missing. The name may sound familiar to those of you who've played Skyrim's Dragonborn DLC. This is the home of the ancestor of the 4th Era's Red Ring counselor Morvayn, in charge of Raven Rock. Unlike the previous locations, there's a quest associated with this manor. The wife of the counselor, Barara Morvayn, will send you here to complete a task as part of the House Red Ring quests. This unassuming building on the edges of town, within spitting distance of the Tribunal Temple, is hiding a dark secret. Upon entering the home, we'll hear various sounds, a death groan from somewhere below, as well as heavy breathing and a shuffling of feet. The upper bedroom is devoid of life, so all of the sounds must be coming from behind the other door. The door is locked at level 70, but the key is located on the shelf right beside it, allowing us to explore the lower levels. Opening the door reveals the source of the sounds: corpus victims. An odd sight outside of the ghost fence or Daveith Fear's corpusarium, but there are several inside, not to mention the body of one unfortunate Dunmer, the former counselor Remus Morvayn. No time to mourn the loss, however, as there are still more enemies to deal with towards the back of the house. The lighting here is very unusual, and just a bit unsettling as the various light sources scattered around don't account for all the strange colors. The storeroom seems to be fairly normal, but making our way to the back, we'll find a bedroom where someone has clearly been performing some sixth house ritual. Things are starting to make a bit more sense now. Perhaps more answers can be found up the side stairs. The last corpus stalker seems to be guarding the final room, and given the sixth house sigil on the ground, we'll definitely need to investigate it. Inside, there are 2 crates stacked up in the middle of the room, and on top we'll find the cause of all this trouble, a unique ash statue, owned by the former counselor. If you're doing the house quest, this will need to be taken to the temple for destruction. Whatever you do, don't go decorating your home with it. Last on our list for today is a little-known tragedy located deep in Telvanni territory, at the strange amalgamation of architecture known as Tel Vos, where Master Arian has tried his hand at fusing a mushroom tower and an imperial fort, with mixed results. The whole place is a bit bizarre on its own, and were it not for Telvanni magics, it most likely would have collapsed in on itself long ago. Much of the location is unstable, as the subject of our investigation discovered the hard way, uncovering something sealed away that would have been best left hidden. To start, we'll need to head to the southern tower, and through to the jail located just behind it. Following the stairs down, we'll come to what's left of the jail. Take the right path and you'll find a group of cells that have seen better days, but more importantly for our investigation is a journal page, hastily scrawled by someone named Barum. Today, we finally finished hewing out the 2 main jail rooms and all 6 cells, and almost as if in response to our celebration, several of those damned roots grew through the wall and took out 2 of our cells. I wonder constantly what those wizards could be up to up there in the tower, but I guess this is the nature of working for the Telvanni. I will inform them again of our construction plans, which they provided to us, and request that they refrain from such actions in the future. In the meantime, my men have begun setting up the necessary ramps and equipment to begin work on the next section of the dungeon. Here's hoping it goes better than the first. It seems that this is the journal of the contractor hired to complete the jail. The 2 cells he mentioned are still destroyed, so he must not have been able to repair the damage. Barris mentions that they were just starting construction on the next phase of the jail, which we can find if we head back to the previous hallway off to the northwest. It looks like the ramp has collapsed as well, and the area was never finished. On the ground, we'll find 2 more pages that might shed some light on what happened here. The lower dungeon rooms have been proving much more difficult than we originally thought. We must be working near some lava flows, as the rock of the cave walls is exceptionally hard stuff. It's hard enough to see in here without all the proper lighting installed. I don't need this delay too. I've sent off for some new volcanic glass tools, and in the meantime, one of my men has found a section of cave softer than the rest, and we've continued our work there, bypassing the first room. A few men have expressed their concern over the light rumblings that we've been feeling lately, but I'm convinced that it's just more of those Telvanni and their hocus-pocus mushroom magic. They assured us of the site's stability. The rats and bugs are annoying to us, but do not pose a threat. Hopefully we can find the source of this infestation soon and eliminate it. I don't have time for this. The worst has happened. This morning, a boulder came loose from the ceiling and fell directly onto our major ramp, causing it to collapse and killing 2 of my men in the process. The remaining 3 of us are now stranded alone down here, with the cave walls being too sheer to climb and the wizards obviously having more important things to deal with than a few errant laborers. With our water supplies diminishing rapidly, I sent Norvus and Gillum further down into the caves to look for any natural exits we might have missed when first surveying the site. Damn those wizards. They told us the site was safe. What could they be doing up there? Why are these bugs and rats getting more aggressive by the hour? And why is it getting so blasted hot? Things went downhill quickly here, as did the boulder that sealed the fate of the crew. A terrible accident to be sure, but it does seem that the survivors made it out. The only way to go from here is straight ahead, through the next door marked dungeon. This area seems to have been finished, but there's clearly something wrong here. Strange sounds fill the area, and ahead on the floor we'll find another page. I found Norvis's head and torso laying in this room, with a large part of the rest of him seemingly smeared along the walls. I screamed for full minutes when I found it, and now all I can do is sit and stare. My only solace is this paper. More roots keep penetrating the walls every minute, and the rocks and lights seem to be taking on lives of their own. Now I fear not only for my life, but for my sanity. Please, someone come soon. The rumblings are getting faster and stronger. I can't breathe this stifling air much longer. What in Vivek's name have these wizards done? The heat. Whatever caused this, it was no mushroom. If we push a little deeper into the dungeon, we may just discover what it was that the crew found, but be on your guard. Down the northern steps, there'll be one final page saying only, "He is here." This is where Barum met his end, and just ahead is the source of his demise, a flame atronach. There's no grand reward for avenging the foreman and his crew, besides the knowledge that the next work crew the Telvanni send in may meet a less grisly fate, as well as the satisfaction of removing another Daedra from Mundus. And that's going to do it for this look at some of Morrowind's lesser-known spooky locations. I hope you enjoyed this exploration, and I'd love to hear what places in-game you find most creepy or unsettling in the comments. Until next time, I've been Gitshiver, and I'll see you in the next one. Happy Halloween, everyone.